This van at the beginning of the year was essentially just a metal box. Over the past 6 months or so, I've turned it into something that I can live and work out of full time. That means I could take this thing pretty much anywhere in the country and it'll act as my home office. This video is going to be about how and why I did this. Exploring and traveling is something that I found to be one of the most fulfilling and educational things I've been able to do. I've been trying to build my life around having the ability to get up and go at a moment's notice. Living in a van has been a really good trade-off of comfort plus mobility. It also allows me to do things I never would have tried otherwise, like climbing. I found that pretty much the only downsides to living in a van are temperature control and peeing in a bottle every day. But other than that, I really don't have any other problems with it. Before the van was even built, me and some friends went on several trips all around California. They were some cramped, uncomfortable days, but looking back, they were some of the highlights of the year. After some thought, I put this together as a rough plan for the van. The goal was to make it spacious enough for guests, but also to make it a comfortable workspace to edit videos and record podcasts. The first thing that I did was install a Max Air roof fan. This is the kind of fan that sits at the top of most van builds. It regulates airflow and gets smoke out when you're trying to cook. All it takes is cutting a giant hole in the roof of the van, sanding it down to make sure it's not too sharp, and then putting the frame in and screwing it directly into the van. Nice. Fancy. After that was furring strips for the walls to attach to and for wires to hide behind. It was a really easy project. It was essentially just screwing wooden support beams into the wall with sheet metal screws. After that was installing swivel seats on the two front chairs. This is what the van looked like for a while. At some point I installed the bed, but didn't get any footage of it. It's pretty simple. It's just some 2x4s sitting on the ledge of the van with plywood on top. The mattress itself is some foam I had custom cut from an upholstery store. After that was a solar and roof racks. I bought some roof racks online specific to my van and two 200-watt solar panels from Amazon. We drilled a hole for the cables to feed down from the panels directly to an external battery. I see a lot of vans with ladders. I really wanted to take advantage of my roof, so we installed this for easy access. Next up was the walls. Most of this was just measuring and cutting and then recutting when I got it wrong. A lot of this was way easier than I initially thought it would be. It was tedious at times, but overall I think anyone can do it. I bought pretty much everything I needed from Amazon and Home Depot, and then not really anything else. I did spend some nights putting this all together. I do not consider myself a handy person at all. There was a ton of trial and error while I was doing it, and even now as I write this, I still have a ton of unfinished projects in the van I have to do. That being said, getting to this point has been a great jumping off point to getting it livable. Before I started doing this, I thought to make it something sustainable, I'd have to have it all finished. But honestly, if I were to do it all over again, throwing a mattress in back and building it as I go is definitely the way to do it. The step up for this was involving everything I needed for power to work. My friend Dan really helped with this whole process. We put wires to run through the ceiling of the van that would connect each outlet together. A lot of this work is just busy work after you get everything in place. If you know how to install an outlet in a house, it's pretty much the same process. If you're thinking of doing it yourself, there are tons of tutorials online guiding you step by step how to do it. There isn't any right or wrong way of doing this. There's definitely an element of trial and error involved, but if you do enough research, you should be able to figure everything else out. When it came to the battery itself, Dan put that mostly together. As far as I know, it's a bunch of cells from China he got from Alibaba. For anyone interested, here's the layout of the electrical components. After figuring everything else out, I installed everything on a thick piece of plywood to sit inside the interior of the van. We screwed it into the furring strips I installed earlier in the build, and then Dan hooked everything up. Everything was mostly safe, but there were some hiccups. When the power was set up, I was ready to start installing quality of life stuff. Here's a monitor I installed on a swivel to watch movies in bed and to use as my second display on my laptop. I also put in a mini fridge to store food and a microwave to heat things up. I have outlets next to my bed and a switch for the lights. After this point, the van was actually pretty much ready to live in. I'm in it right now. Everything I need to power my camera, laptop, microphone is all in here to record content and shoot this video. I'm going to save the tour for the next video I do on my van. Thanks so much for watching. Your guys' support really does help. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe. It really does boost the video. Please let me know if you guys have any questions on the van or what it's like, or if you have any thoughts on the sorts of stuff you'd want to see from me, or general thoughts on what I'm doing, I'd love to hear that as well. Thanks again, guys, and have a good one.